for me, and hopefully I get to see some of you guys there. But our airplane is going to be on display at OSH 2024. So it's more than just me showing up. We have a wonderful sponsor called Warp Drive Propellers, who has given us a four-blade propeller that is going to be on the airplane. So we are taking the plane to their booth to be hosted, and we will be at the ultralight field this year. It's very, very exciting for me. It is going to be a long haul fly for me, which is the first time that I've ever done that. But again, still very, very excited to be able to be going. So, I wanted to address the lack of content that's been on the channel recently, and that is totally my fault because of that announcement I just made. I've been focusing heavily on getting the Red Rocket ready to fly across the nation, and you guys have been following it on the channel and realizing, hey, you know, it doesn't look ready. But let me show you what it looks like right now. This is a live stream, so you'll have to bear with me. Here is the Red Rocket's current situation or state. It has been a lot of work going on inside of the background, more than you can imagine, and which is the real reason why I haven't been making a ton of videos, is because I haven't had time to edit them. I've got like 4 or 5 videos recorded of some pretty amazing things that we've been doing to this. Some of those include, if you look up here, we've got this tint installed. That is actually very exciting. That is going to reduce the temperature on the top of our head by a substantial amount. If you take a peek right back there, oh, we have a beacon. Oh, the boot cowling is also on. Our lights down here, those are all hooked up. There's something special over here on the end of the wingtip, and believe it or not, I can't even tell you guys what this is, but there is a video on it coming out soon, and watch this. Isn't that weird? Very, very cool stuff. And again, I did say we're at an active airport, so we have someone coming down the row right here. So, update right here inside of the engine. Been doing a ton of work inside of here. Ton of work. Everything is tied up and ready to go. We are working on our baffling. I did have to remake a piece of baffling right back here, and it turned out way better than I thought it would. My metal working skills are not what I thought. And now with that airplane gone, I'm going to bring you guys in here into the cockpit. And believe it or not, everything works. So we're going to flip our master switch on. I'll just turn the avionics on here. Turn the iPad on. Got FLYWITH popping up, and as soon as everything else boots up, we should see all of this stuff come alive. Really, really cool things going on here. Level Aviation has given us an autopilot.
Has disconnected.
Oh, thank you. But they provided us with the electronics to be able to run the iPad. This is from Aircraft Automation. It's a backup. It also connects with iLevel Autopilot. But we have all of our buttons and switches working. We got our ELT installed. Actually, I don't need that. Oh, wait. If I turn that on, and the stick is working, there's a little thing back here, and if you can see all the way back there, the trim tab is moving. That is another install that I've done. Videos still to come on all of this stuff. Sometimes this doesn't connect to what it's supposed to, so I usually edit this portion of it out for you guys inside of the videos to make it seem like it's going really quickly. Oh yeah, it's connected to my phone. So there we go. And everything is now live. Got all my engine information coming inside of here. So FLYWITH's now working off of the iLevel Autopilot. We've got the engine information system over here. I keep my radios and stuff turned off, but transponders from Trig working, radio from Trig is working, and yeah, this thing is basically ready to fly, which include making this entire lower portion of the airplane. So inside of the accident that happened, everything from basically back there forward kind of ran into something or hit the ground. You can see some of the dirt and everything left over from it up there. This is completely wrinkled. I have to replace it, but I have to remake everything down here, including the air box for the intake. And so I'm working on remaking the arms that go right here to be able to support the lower portion of the cowling. Those are right here. So I have one of these guys, and you can see it's bent up. It's not the best. So I have this channel, and this came from Javron, and it's actually for a Super Cub. I got this little tab at the end, which I have bent up, and it's got set, and this one is actually cut to length and will hold the bottom of the cowling or the nose bowl like it's supposed to. But I am going to make little pieces of metal from this extra to go from here to here and send it over to my welder so that we have a really good fit of that stuff that's going on. So this is what I am working on, and between this stuff and creating an air intake for the airplane, those are the only things that are holding up the rest of this project. And so you can see we are incredibly close to be able to get this done. I've got my windscreen. This guy's right here, ready to be reinstalled up here, and it's looking really good. Like I'm pleased with the materials and things that I've been using to be able to make this look clean and good. I've got some fabric to go caps right there, get all painted up and put back together. As soon as those are on, we can put the windscreen on for good. And yeah, I did make a mistake here though. This is an amazing piece of metal. It's a propeller spacer from Sabre, and they didn't do anything wrong. This is totally me. I knew that we're going to be getting a new propeller from Warp Drive, which we already talked about a little bit. And when I did so, I just knew that I needed a spacer, so I bought what I already had, which actually went with the old propeller and spinner. And so the spacer is going to be too thick, and I'll show you guys what this is going to look like, and I'll probably fix this later on down the road, but I don't want to incur the cost right now, and it's not that big a deal. Where is it? It's hard to do this when you're holding a phone. But yeah, so that's part of the hub, and you can see how much space we have. Cool. That's going to be awesome. But let me just show you guys these. I kid you not, everyone comes in here and they pick it up like this and they start swinging it around like it's a lightsaber or something. And I'm like, no, let's be gentle with that. Let's be gentle. But 4-blade propellers, solid carbon fiber. There's a lot of benefits to be able to, or going with this type of setup, especially on a plane like this. So we'll dig more into that at OSH, which I hope you guys come to see me, and we can talk about that stuff there. So that is where the airplane currently sits. We are so close, and I hope that you guys can see that. So I'm gonna come back over here to my little couch and just have a seat. I see that you guys have had some messages and things coming through. I would totally like to address some of those. So let's see here. Ian, hello from Ontario, up there in Canada. Welcome. Thank you, Mike. Thanks. Yes, it has been a long, hard road, and definitely a work of passion to be able to get it there. And Kev, hello. And yes, 4 blades of amazing goodness. And one of the reasons I wanted to go with a carbon fiber or composite propeller at the front of the airplane was to alleviate some of the weight on the nose. Because when you look at a J3 Cub to begin with, you have to fly from the back seat. They were already nose heavy. And then I'd go and get this huge engine and I have it on the front of the airplane. So any weight I can get off the nose, especially since we went to a metal prop, they went to a metal prop when they did this conversion. Yeah. So some of the things that people have been asking me about too with that conversion is, hey, you've got all these avionics up front. J3 Cubs are supposed to be flown from the back. How have you made it so you can fly from the front? Well, believe it or not, I put this guy on the scales after we did our engine startup, and I took everything that I have inside of the airplane and I threw it all inside of the airplane, roughly where it was going to sit, so we can get an idea of what the weight and balance is going to look like. And in doing so, was able to find out that yes, everything is good. All the conversions that I had done will make it so I can fly from the front. And some of those major ones being we removed the forward fuel tank in lieu of using the wing fuel tanks inside of the airplane. That, I think, was the kicker that allowed us to be able to move and sit up front. But I will tell you that that weight and balance that we did showed that I have shaved in some way, shaved 30 pounds off of the airplane from when the conversion was originally done. So that has to do, and I felt like I added a lot of weight, but it has to do with modern materials and different things that we're putting inside of the airplane. They're actually way lighter weight than the stuff that was in there already. Some of that being the landing gear, the heavy duty metal landing gear that was in it before. I mean, the new landing gear, I think, weighs a third of what those weighed. So it is a huge, huge difference inside of those. So going back to the comments here, Kev, yes, it's been 2 years for this build. I honestly thought it was going to go a lot faster than that. But then as we started getting sponsors and my idea for the airplane changed drastically, we started adding more and more and more to it. And so the excess wiring, just the wiring is probably what really is the kicker here. Just having to add an electrical system to the airplane, and then my own needs or wants to be able to put stupid stuff on here like autopilots that shouldn't exist on a J3 Cub. So could it have been done faster? Yeah, it could have been flying a lot faster, but it wouldn't be the plane and the really cool plane that it is today without some of these things, because let's face it, this plane 1939 shouldn't exist inside of this format. So let's see, Mike's got another one here. Are there any issues that you have found that I've had to repair? The fuel system. The only major stuff that we've had to repair is the landing gear from the hard landing that happened. So that was the first thing that we addressed after we measured the airframe to make sure it was relatively straight, and we only found an 1/8 of an inch off, which from 1939 could have been an 1/8 of an inch off to begin with. So outside of that, everything, not necessarily repaired, but redesigned. So like the wing tanks weren't designed to work the way that I'm currently using them. So I had to make them work the way that I wanted to use them. And that's more or less the boat that I've been in this whole time. Actually, I feel like the J3 Cub community on Facebook hates me, because every time I would post a picture or ask a question, they talk down to me, and they kind of make me feel like an idiot purely because I was outside of their box, and all they wanted to do, and remember this airplane is experimental, is they wanted me to strip the fabric off, recover it, paint it yellow, and take it back to certified. Only then did I feel like that they would be willing to communicate and help me out with things. But I have been finding other resources and things, and to be able to answer the questions. There's a J3 Cub forum that I've been able to get some really good help at off of Facebook. I guess that's the Facebook is just where all the monsters are. But just like I said, figuring everything out on my own, asking questions or taking ideas and thoughts from other aircraft, mostly the Super Cub, has what's helped me get to where I'm at with the airplane right now. So yeah, it's been hard, but exciting at the same time. And I had lots of people warn me, hey, the more complex things you start adding to it, the longer it's going to take for you to get there. And let's see, do I have a date for a test flight? So I haven't told anyone this yet. So here it is inside of the live stream. I do not have my tailwheel endorsement. I will be doing that the first week of June. I'll be getting my tailwheel endorsement. This airplane, I wanted it to be done at the end of this month, but I had an obligation next week that has taken me away from the hangar, so I won't be able to finish it like I wanted to. So it's going to be finished early, maybe end of May, early June. But I am looking for first flight mid-June, because I personally need to make sure that I have opportunity and time to be able to fly this airplane, to work out all the kinks of it before we fly this over to OSH for 2024. So that's what I'm looking to do. And no, I will not be the first person flying this airplane. I have a really good friend who has volunteered his life to fly the red rocket for the first time. And he's gonna come back to me. He's gonna go fly it, figure out some numbers, and we're gonna program the rest of the eye-level autopilot with the parameters that we feel are the most safe for this airplane. And I guess that's one cool thing for the eye-level autopilot and systems, is that you can literally program all that stuff in. So, trying to think about anything else. If you guys have any more questions, please ask. But no, this is exciting times for me, getting this done, and exciting because I want to show you guys this stuff. When I was working with Warp Drive and they were asking if we're going to have the airplane at OSH, I told them I really want it there because we have so many great companies and so many amazing followers inside of this project that I just want them to have the opportunity to be able to look at, to see what has been going on. So I'm just incredibly excited and feel very blessed that we get to be able to do that this year. Another question, will the plane performance number need to be calculated? The weight and balance is going to need to be calculated a bit more. I have access to scales, so I'll be able to do that. But as I've been digging further and further into performance numbers, wing load, and all the things that go on to understand the safety aspects of the airplane, the numbers just don't exist. Like the weight and balance for the airplane, when this conversion was done in the late 70s, early 80s, it got its airworthiness certificate for experimental exhibition. In doing so, it needed to have a weight and balance done, and they literally weighed the airplane and added 350 pounds. Arbitrarily added 350 pounds, and now 1277 was its official gross weight. And I'm like, how does that even work? How is that possible? And guys, I don't know. That's just how it is, especially with experimental exhibition, experimental in general. You can just make crap up. So I still want to be inside of the safety margins of this stuff. But if you do know anybody that can help me calculate and really truly figure that information out, I'd be greatly appreciative to be able to talk to someone about those things. So Mike, I'm also going to be thrilled to see how all of this stuff works together. But yeah, you know, I wasn't intending on this being a very long live stream. We're here at like 18 minutes, and I don't want to prolong anything. But let me show you one more thing on the airplane. I didn't quite show you these trim tabs. Let me show them to you, and then we'll sign off from there. But get back up. In case you're wondering how this all works, I'm just sitting here like that. I really do think that this is a beautiful airplane. I don't know about you guys, but so here's the trim tabs I was talking about, and this was a monster to be able to install, but I got it installed here, and this one controls the aileron, obviously, from the autopilot. I'll showing you this guy back here as it was moving. And here's the rear one. And yeah, it's all mounted the way that it's supposed to be. These guys move and function beautifully. So high-level autopilot, aircraft automation trim tabs. This is also going to be an electric trim, not just an autopilot, which is really, really cool. So let's see, how many nautical miles are you from OSH? Guys, I haven't even calculated that yet. I know I threw it into FLYWITH at one point, but it was a direct flight. It wasn't a planned flight. So I want to say that it was going to be a like 15-hour flight or something like that in a direct line, which is not going to be direct. So I'll figure that out when we get there. But all right, guys, thank you for joining me. I really appreciate you taking the time to sit down, listen to me talk, because I know it's been a while since I've created a real video for you, purely just because I've been working so heavily on this and not taking any time to be able to edit. So once I get back from my obligation this next week, then I will be finishing this up and probably producing all of those videos and hopefully getting to the flying videos as quickly as possible. So that's going to be it for this one. As always, share aviation wherever you can, and we'll see you in the next one. And now I have to figure out how to end this live stream. Buttons, here we go.